present today. I'm very happy to be here with you today and to welcome. I was not able to be yesterday, but to welcome on the name of the whole team of EUGLOH in this university that may make possible to be all of us here today. As you know, as part of the program of the annual research conference, it's not only the possibility for you to actively participate and present and change and exchange your ideas and your current research projects, but also we want to add these elements, these small pills on questions so relevant that might have, even if you are not connected directly on your research to some of the topics, you will be in any way, in one way or another, affected by them. So today we have a unique opportunity to have Pilar Martín with us to talk about something that is not only connected to your research or to your activities nowadays in your own scientific fields, but any one of us as individuals have been in one way or another affected by this revolution that we call artificial intelligence. Whether as individual citizens or future brilliant academics in universities, what we are seeing now is, in that sense, revolutionary. It's very difficult sometimes to see a revolution when it happens. It's easier to see revolutions, to analyze revolutions when time has passed. And revolutions sometimes are quite interesting times, which is not always a good thing or a positive thing, because it generates a number of challenges and it's very difficult to face them. Now we are facing some of them, and we have, as I said, the unique opportunity to have Pilar Martín with us, who is associate professor in this university on signal theory in our Polytechnic school, which is in a different campus, as you know. She is pretty involved not only on questions connected to artificial intelligence on her academic research field, but also on helping understanding those challenges to a wider community. Like not only, well, as I said, not only researchers on this field, but to all of you and all of the citizens and participants in this university that now we are struggling to understand these challenges. So, with no further ado, I will give away to Pilar, and this second plenary session, immediately after, we will begin with our presentations, but I believe it's a very nice way to begin this morning, chilly morning in Alcalá, well, having welcome to Pilar Martín to this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ignacio. Thank everyone for coming to our university, and this morning a little bit cold to come to listen. I belong, like Nacho told, to the department it's true. to the Signal Theory and Communication department in the Polytechnic School. Belong to the Computer Vision, Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Research Group. And today, when they told me about giving a talk about artificial intelligence for different group of researchers, what they are not just main engineer, I was thinking, about what? I can talk to you about what? Then I was thinking one of very hot topics nowadays is about the regulation, because we are on that. We don't know what means regulation. We don't know how to do the regulation. We don't know what principles we have to follow for the regulation. And then I was thinking, okay, I will tell today I will lie now, but I will explain why. One of my worries about what is not letting me sleep, what is keeping me reading and learning every day, is artificial intelligence. But actually it's not the artificial intelligence itself what is worrying me. It's more worrying me us, like artificial intelligence is coming to our life, is involved almost in everything what we are doing nowadays. It's taking decision for us. And we know that. We even know, like, even it's worrying me more. We're thinking, like, the decisions are taken by machine, like learning from data. They are impartial. But do you think this is true? They are taking all fair and human rights decisions? I think no. No, because artificial intelligence, what is? It's artificial neural network. It's learning. You can think in the same that the natural network. How the kids learn. How the kids learn. You tell the kids, you are educating them, telling what is right, what is not right. You educate it with some moral principles, and then they will apply these moral principles in their life. The same is the artificial intelligence. Depending how you teach the artificial intelligence, they will provide the solutions. Then this is the worry what I was talking about. We are prepared for that. We know, even we are using now this kind of big AI plans for without know what is behind them. What we are taking without know if we are even under the law. And this is what I want to talk today a little bit to all of us, because I guess it's some kind of topic that is interesting to everyone, about trust. How to trust, how to learn when we use this artificial intelligence, to know what we are using and how we should use, or what we need to know when we are using these tools. This is what I told you. I lie a little bit because it's not only worrying me, the artificial intelligence. Also it's worrying me, like I guess all of us, the climate change. And artificial intelligence is contributed to this. Actually, it's consuming a lot of energy. Every time we are generating models, every time we are using the artificial intelligence, we are using energy. That means like we are contributing to the climate change. Unfortunately, we can say like this artificial intelligence is not inside of a bottle. It's made of metal and plastic, and it's consuming energy. Then it's also some worry what we need to have, or some concerns we need to know when we are talking about artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, there are some kind of also ideas or plans for who try to control, or like, at least provide us information about what we are doing when we are running a program. This, for example, this Code Carbon.io platform is running parallel with your model, and it's telling you how is the energy consuming, how emission is producing during the time you are doing this. Then it's also good, like we are creating this kind of platform, helping us to know what we are doing. Is artificial intelligence good for the society? Is some of the questions you can find a lot in the internet. Is artificial intelligence good? We need to think about it before it's too late. But like I told you before, the artificial intelligence is not a problem. The problem is us, if we are prepared for that. And this is what we need to think. We need to think we have to educate it. We need to educate it, the present and the future generation, to can control the artificial intelligence. No, the artificial intelligence control them. The artificial intelligence, they are tools. They are tools for helping us, no are instead of us. Mafalda did. Mafalda have that worry, and she answered herself. Also, Henry Hinton is known like the godfather of the artificial intelligence. Also, this is a really nice documentary, it's short, 15 minutes, it's cut it. I will provide you this slide and you can listen in. He's worried about the future of us with the artificial intelligence. He made all these kind of videos after he retired. I mean, this is what Google is telling, but I have quick. Then also Stephen Hawking have that worry, even the artificial intelligence provides the voice to him. But even 25 years ago, there is a person who I like a lot, and I really love, if you will read the article, what I wrote, this white paper, what is there, because he wrote 25 years ago, is with the ex-chief of Sun Microsystem, and in that article, he was wondering about the new technologies. In that moment was genetic, nanotechnology, and robotics. But we can add artificial intelligence if we put this article in nowadays, because really you can put now. If you don't know it's from 25 years ago, you will feel like he wrote yesterday, and you will put artificial intelligence inside. And he's telling the big problem is not actually, unlike the atomic bomb, what actually is in hands only of the government because the complexity and the cost, artificial intelligence of this new technology and in the hands of everyone. This is the big problem. Like, he's concerned about the future in the sense like we need to know what we are doing. We don't know. In 10, 20 years ago, we don't know where we will be. Nobody does. But I know it's like we need to prepare ourselves for the future. And this is what we have to know. First of all, we can say, all of us, there are hundreds of definitions of what is artificial intelligence. Mainly is a simulation of human intelligence in machines that they are programming for think, learn, perform tasks typically requiring human intelligence. But actually it's a hot topic what every day is changing. Look, what 5 years ago, 2 years ago was thinking was artificial intelligence, nowadays is not anymore. Then it's something like it's changing with the time, and we have to adapt. This is the reason it's difficult, the regulation, because we don't know where we are going. We don't know the consequences. We don't know what is coming, and normally, like the regulation, they are going so slow, then it's a problem to go fast. This is one of the big things why no global regulation in these topics. And the thing is like, even if artificial intelligence was introduced in the 50s, have grown really fast, it's important to recognize that it's constantly moving, and today speed, ambition, recognition, natural language processing, expert system, planning optimization, and robotics all use artificial intelligence in order to deliver advanced features and capabilities. Every company, every area is nowadays using for improve their results, we can say. But if we think about how to control this or how to regulate this technology, we can say, I like this sentence from Luca Sambuci, say, it's difficult to regulate something when you don't know its capabilities. And this is actually what I was telling is happening. It's true that strict laws can limit innovation. It's true, like this is the problem, why the regulation, they are difficult, because the companies, the business is telling, okay, wait, strict laws can limit us, but also unchecked innovation can create a risk for the society and for individuals. So the problem is that how we find the balance between safety and innovation. And actually we could ask, how we find the balance? In Eastern country, in America, in Europe, in South America, every country have different ethics. Then it's difficult even to make global rules, even in a technology where there are no borders. We don't have borders, but we have ethical or culture different, what is making us to have different point of view about what we need to do, how we have to regulate it. Then what is true is that if we are thinking about regulation for artificial intelligence, what actually no is a technology regulation, it's a social technology regulation. This is the reason when we are talking about social technology regulation, we have to involve ethics. We have to make regulation based on ethics. We have to ensure respect, social values, and human rights, responsibilities, and fairness. In order to not amplify inequalities, reduce accountability, and push in risk the privacy, security, and human autonomy. That is what regulation should do, focus on informants and consequences. We should build this trustworthy artificial intelligence. But, like I was telling, it's true, like globally, we have some common legal and ethical frameworks, but also we have some differences. Then, how we do this? What is true is that in a borderless nature, due to the borderless nature of the issue, an international coordinated response is needed. It means like not only the states have to control, we also have to international organizations, corporate entities, individual citizens, everyone play a role in the responsibilities. What is the challenge of AI regulation? We can say, like, if we do early regulation, it's quite difficult, like we told, because it's a technology and long-term effects. But we already know, we already have nowadays enough examples of this immediate impact, such as bias and privacy violation. Then we need to do something, because when the technology is widely used, regulations are difficult, even will face some kind of opposition from the stakeholders. UNESCO, here you have also the links for all the information, what I am giving you, provides some kind of recommendation. You see, they are always recommendations. They provide some kind of recommendations to the government on the ethic of AI, offering some guidelines for countries. But everyone finally do their own. What that means? Here I use, for example, 3 different approaches: European Union, USA, and China. They try to make regulation. What happened? They do in different way, completely different way. For example, European Union is more focused, the AI Act, what is the team, what is preparing this kind of possible regulation. The proposal, what they are doing, is based mainly in protecting fundamental rights. And they will like this recommendation could be a global standard like they did with the General Data Protection Regulation. But the USA is not thinking like that. They don't base their recommendation of what they are thinking make like regulation based on fundamental rights. That the emphasis is more in promoting innovation, driving by the companies. They put more in emphasis the voluntary compliance, but the companies, they say, stop, innovation is first. Then the government didn't do anything still, didn't make any law, no legally, we can say, binding, but there is true, like some states, like California, is quite advanced in that. California is doing driving the first in this sense in USA, putting some kind of regulation in, we can say only in some sectors. For example, like I put you this in autonomous vehicles and healthcare, but not in all of them. Then we don't have. And then it's coming China. China is telling, okay, you want innovation, you want fundamental rights, I will faster than both of you. I will do, you know, how they are. And they are now pretty alien in policy making and will respond to all the new challenges. They want really to follow, to be the global leader in 2030. They don't want to be like following, they did with the General Data Protection Regulation, follow Europe. They say, no, we go to make our. But what is the problem of China? State control. They have to do their regulation under these political and cultural things what they have. Then, like you can see, each of them, they have their own way to see how to do the regulation. Then it's no easy topic, how to talk about that. But as we told, the regulation has to be based in ethical concepts. Here, I want to put to you some of the main ethical concepts what we have to take into account when we are talking about regulation for artificial intelligence. Then the first one is fairness and bias mitigation. You probably hear about this a lot. Formally speaking, we can say like it's when IA model include patterns and ideas that can discriminate based on gender, race, or ethnicity. How we can ensure when we are using our models, like we are fair toward everybody, in particular the minority groups. So let's make a test. Thinking about a picture in your mind, a scientific person. Don't look to me. What do you have in your mind? This? A man in glasses and lab coats, and none of them actually look like me. This is what can happen with these artificial intelligence models. Like, we have to take care how we teach them. We have to teach them in fairness. It's true, like, also to you came these kind of pictures, but maybe not too much that kind of pictures. Some woman could come to this picture, but then will be even stronger the feeling of white men with glasses and white coats, because we are teaching them. We have to check it, the database, what we are using for teaching them, because if we don't take care of adding women and dark-skinned people and other kind of, they will not learn. They will put you always this kind of pictures. This is the problem. Like the human, we can change, but then they learn from what we are teaching them, the database. This is the more important thing what we have in artificial intelligence, the data set. This is why they are fighting all these big companies about, you take my database, I take the other one, because this is the more valuable thing what we have for the artificial intelligence. And this is the reason when you are in a team, you are building some kind of artificial intelligence solution. I don't know if you hear about these widows of crows, means like as much diversity you have. It's a mathematical, we can say it's a mathematical theory, what establishes that the more diverse your group of people are when you are building something, the less chance you have for error. And this is true in artificial intelligence. When you are building group for making solution, you have to be sure you have this kind of people inside of your team, because what you are thinking, maybe other people have another ideas. And the main thing for having a solution for this fairness is use a fair training data. But what happened? What happened with these big platforms like Midjourney, ChatGPT? Like they are completely black holes. We don't know what is inside. They don't want to tell you what data they are using. You don't know anything, and we are using. Then the problem is this, like, unfortunately, it's not enough to trust of them. They are using fair database. No, we need also to create some kind of tools to detect if they are using or they are we can say no using this minority group. This, for example, here you have one, diffusion bias explorer, what is checking also if you are in this database or you are not. But if we continue, the next one is privacy and data rights. That's something what is worry about when we are doing regulation. What that means? User consents, safeguard user data, and respect privacy. Example, here we have some concern about, for example, facial recognition technology in public space can identify individuals without their consent, raising significant privacy concerns. Some people say, no, it's right. They made this in public space. Why? Because, for example, like they did in this application, they use for the police in order to find some kind of, in this article, you see like some kind of shooting guy was recorded by a video. With a video, they make a photo, and with the photo, they, through this kind of clean view AI, found the photo of this guy in some social net, and they catch him in 20 minutes. The government didn't have any track of this guy because they didn't have any driving license, didn't have anything what was tracked by the government. Then you say, no, I don't want they made this public recognition, face recognition. But otherwise, if they don't know, they cannot have that also advanced. You know, this like always we are talking about balance. Some people think, no, we can discuss here later. No, I think they should do because that. But then the other one, no, they shouldn't do because that. And this is what is happening now doing the regulation. And the thing is, like everything is not something new. We have to use, or we have to try to use in the good way. But we have another tools nowadays what is the same. If you don't use in the good way, can give big damage. And this is the same with artificial intelligence. We have to give our consents to can use this kind of face recognition for that kind of purpose. This is what has to be clear. We are using, or we let to use for that kind of purpose. This is what nowadays is coming a lot when you go to the website, these cookies all the time. You accepting. And actually, my kids, they were doing like, yes, no. Because they are doing yes. And now they are telling, yes, you can use your data, you can send the information, this is the privacy. But in some way, you allow that. Then we have to know what we are saying, yes or no. Another ethical concern, very important, is the accountability and responsibility. Here, where is the main example, what I can put you about this? Pues the autonomous vehicle accidents, for example. Imagine in a real situation that a self-driving car, for example, and happen in Arizona, kill a pedestrian. The vehicle autonomous system failed really to detect the pedestrian in time. But what happened? It was a driver, and the driver could take care of that. It was there for, but what? Supposed to monitor the vehicle, but was distracted in that moment. Was distracted and didn't stop. Who is the responsible of that? Is the vehicle? I mean, is the developer of the artificial intelligence model? Is the technology, I mean, who building the car? Is the artificial intelligence itself have some right or no? Or maybe it's the guy who was there to control and was distracted. And like this, we can have hundreds of different situations with training, with like how we handle that, how we can put regulation to all kind of these situations. What is better? Like, you kill the pedestrian, or you turn in and you kill yourself against the tree, because we'll come to that kind of situation. If the car have to decide, or I go there, or I keep it, I go through. What happened to me? The car have to decide. Actually, they were making some kind of research about what the people will decide to do in that kind of situation, but depend actually, you will not believe, when I was reading, they depended of if you are driving or you are a passenger inside of the car. They are different the way they're thinking. Vale? They told, if you are a driver and you have that situation, you hit the guy or you hit yourself. But no, you are like a passenger inside of this autonomous vehicle. What do you think the vehicle should do? Hit the pedestrian or hit himself? The result was different, you know, because the moral of the people. They were thinking, no, if I am a passenger, I am not the guilt if something is happening. But I am the driver, yes, I am the guilt. You know, the concern of the people, the way to think. Even if they didn't think so much about inside of them, they were, no. If I am the passenger, I am not the guilty. Then they was no more likely to continue. But otherwise, they prefer to continue. Then, I mean, they say the vehicle should do that because. Then this is some kind of example what we can say, who is the responsibility? We have to think about that. We must know what is happening. For that, we need to know what is happening in the AI brains to trust them, to think what, or to know how they will react until that kind of situation. And another one, what is really important, transparent and explainability. In the sense that you are able to explain somebody which data, set, where, or had been used in order to design the tool or the model what you are using. So due to this black hole, black box, what I told you about these companies, is difficult to know that. But it's true, like the user of that platform need to know that because matters. In which sense matter? Pues customers deserve to know why they were approved. For example, I mean, here I put you the example of a loan approval system, provided clear reason for rejection. Means like, it's not only enough to say yes or no. The customer need to deserve to know why the result was approved or denied. Then this is what depending. We need the transparency help identify and address bias or unfair decision in the AI model. We need clear explanation that build trust between, for example, the bank and the customers, because now it is the bank they are doing for the loan. But they need to say why. They have to be very clear why, yes or no. Why to me, if there is because me or because my situation. Everything has to be also transparent. And another ethical concern, very important, is the security and reliability. The AI systems are not always reliable because they lack the ability to distinguish between accurate information and misinformation. What is the problem here? We think, they think, but they don't think. They don't think. They don't know what is information and what is misinformation. And what we are doing, we are generating misinformation. And we are using this misinformation for training the models. What we will do? Generating more misinformation. And this is a problem, because we need to avoid generated misinformation with this model in order to don't make a loop, but at the end we don't know what is true and what is false. The goal, as I told you this, is as AI become increasingly intelligent, we should avoid becoming overpowering or behave the other users. An example is fake news, for example, what nowadays they are really, really difficult, some of them, to notice if they are real or not real, and they will be used for training new data. This is the reason what I put you there. The action is regularly update. We need to update the model with new data, what be sure that have misinformation. We need to continue monitoring and evaluating these tools. We need to have a public awareness and engagement. And the last one, we need to have social impact that benefits all of us. I should contribute positively to the society, especially vulnerable population, making our life better and minimizing harm. Imagine a rural area where access to doctor is limited and many people suffer from undiagnosed disease. In that case, the artificial intelligence, who is be able to analyze age rates or provide disease from the symptoms, will be a good help, no? But the problem is that tools can improve healthcare and save lives in the same that promote fairness and inclusivity, because ensure is training on diverse data set. I mean, when we use this kind of system, we have to be sure promote, like we told before, fairness and inclusivity, ensure accessibility and affordability, have a social impact assessment, and human oversight. Always, this is the last one for me, the more important, human oversight. They are tools. They are tools for us, no are instead of us. Then we have to ensure doctor and healthcare professional use AI tools as assistant, no replacement. So human expertise remain a safeguard for patients' outcome, but helping, like the case I put you here, in rural places where there are not enough doctors, can be the first step before it's going to the doctor. Vale. Okay. If we are talking now, we saw all the ethics concerns, what we need to have in IE. But what is the next one? What also worries us? Intellectual property, copyright. If I do something, I can publish. If I do something with a book, a TFG, for example, a master's degree, I can publish. Who is the right? Who have the right of this? The intellectual property. Does the copyright belong to the developer? Because who is he training and develop the model? Does belong to the AI itself, to the model, or belong to me? Because I make the right prompt to give me what I wanted. To who belong that? This is another topic what we need to put over the table. The solution involves clarifying copyright laws and creating new categories of intellectual property rights. We have to create new categories of intellectual property rights, because now we are in some kind of case, there are so many people involved for creating something. It's not like you write your book yourself, or you use a pencil or a computer and you write. Now, no, you are using tools. Then, unfortunately, we need to define new categories. It's true, like, the problem of that is like we can generate in seconds when what some really artists can take days, months, years to do it. And now we can do it in seconds. Even the artists can use that very well, because the problem is now, the artists, they say, okay, I have my art, my picture, I can put in artificial intelligence, and I will take, please, can you generate it with my style? Similar ones. I don't need to be 1 year thinking about what be my next picture. Will help me, will help. But he have the copyright. He's putting the information with his copyright. The problem is with someone who is not he, is doing exactly the same than him. Can you generate in me a picture the same style than this? Then what is happening there? Is telling the artificial intelligence model the copyright? I mean, is using for training copyright image? We know, no. We are not doing. If you go to Midjourney and you tell, for example, can you draw me a picture of my university with a style of Van Gogh? It's doing. It's doing. And it's using copyright information. The problem is, okay, if it's for my own use, it's no problem. I put. But if it's not for my own use, I can publish that. And this is what it's funny, because there were a case where Google won the case, because they were telling, it was a suit against them, because they call what they call derivative work. They say, okay, if is not enough close to the real art, we can say like is not under copyright. And they were telling like for teaching Google, they were using actually books for teaching and they were generating. And Google, the response was, yes, we're using that, but we generated something completely different. I mean, we not completely, but it's like you go to the library, you copy a lot of books, and then you say, no, I am taking just notes. No, you are not taking notes. You are copying the books. But this is what Google told, like, no, I am just learning for that, learning, but you didn't pay for buying the books. You just took it for it. But he won, because they thought it's derivative work. It's not exactly the same. It's not completely the same. And even we have another law, what is really funny, what is this fair use doctrine, what is telling, like, you can use copyright material if you use for some kind of areas. We can say like that. For example, for criticisms, for teaching, for new research, as long as, this is important, as long as is enough transformative. This is the same that we told up about derivative work. If it's enough transformative, meaning like you can use without taking into account the copyright. This is something what in some countries is following this rule, but in other countries they are not following. Then this is something, what I want to put you over the table is everything what they are thinking nowadays about making the regulation of artificial intelligence. Try to explain you what is not easy to become a solution, why we are not fast enough to do that solution, because it's no easy topic, but it's true, like for me, even if it's not an easy topic, the main thing is we, the university, the college, we need to start educating the people to know we need these machines, these tools came to stay with us, but to stay with us in the good sense. And for that, we need to know what we have in the hands. We need to teach the children nowadays, or even ourselves, what is in our hands. And this is the best way to make a good use of that, knowing what is in your hands. Like this is what, you don't know the know, it don't mean like you don't have to, no? This is the same. And then, in these three different slides, what I tell you, like in the intellectual property copyright, we have the developers, we have the customers, and we have the creator, the artist. In that sense, we can say like the developers' task should be to use in their database information what have copyright. We say like this kind of big platform, like I told you, Midjourney or GPT, use Lion C5B dataset what they have inside copyright for sure. They don't tell, even if you go to this platform to check it, what is database, they don't say exactly what they are inside. And this will include, for me, for example, one solution, what the developers should do, this is from my point of view, should, for example, record, I mean, when I generated an image, why, I was thinking, why, when I generated an image, they should tell me what method they use for generated, what database is generated. If you use some copyright, should be inside the copyright, like the database is taking this copyright, then when they check it, I mean, I don't know if you know about this blockchain technology, like made this contract also. It's something similar. Let's put some sign in every content what we generated with these tools that included the prompt, also included the metadata, included the possible copyright, we'll have the database in order to pay, like nowadays we are doing to Spotify when we are listening music. But something like this is what the developers should do when they generate it. What they know the customer will generate it, image or test using their own tools. The customers, what the customers will do, what we should do, demand terms of service for generative AI platform that confirms proper licenses of the training data that feed their AI. We also have to be clear when we use this technology who support the registration of authorship and ownership of those works, because you know also this kind of technology have some kind of, if you pay, you are becoming some kind of member, then you have this right. If you don't pay, you don't have this right. Then also we have to be sure what is inside of this registration of authorship. We have to say to these like customers clear responsibilities, have to be very clear who have responsibility of everything, and demand broad indemnification for potential intellectual property infringements caused by the failure of the AA company. Here I put you, for example, some kind of contrast, what they are showing like a sample of what we should check when we use these machines. And the last is the actor, the creator of this kind of copyright. What they should do, but they should in some way control their intellectual property portfolios and protect them. There are some kind of also platform who is helping there to check it if their work is inside of some kind of database. For example, here I put you this test crunch, or have I been training, in order to know, to look if you have been, or your work has been inside of some data set. The thing is, they should, Stability A, what is also one of the big competition of Midjourney, is telling like, in the next version of their A tool, they will try to put this put out and put in of having their work, the artist. This is mean like they have some plan of plugin that the author can put in their work, and they will say yes or no, and then when they take the image, they will recognize this kind of yes or no, and they will use. But they say like they go to use, and they will do in the next version. But however, this approach places the responsibility on artist side to protect always their intellectual property, more than telling to the companies who they are stealing the information, the copyright, or training the data with that copyright, telling no, you cannot do that. No, they put a little bit of responsibility more in the artist to protect your work. And for finally, I would like to share with you, like researchers, and you are using artificial intelligence for sure in your work, there is some kind of Open Data Institute. Here you have the website. What is very, very good, I like how clear they explain the thing. It's a no-profit company committed to promote trust in the data set, and is working together with universities, government, and companies. And it's good because, like we told, what is the more important thing in this artificial intelligence tool? The data. And here they are telling, like, we need to check it, how is the data, and they give you the steps, how to check it, how they are the data, or what you need to check when you take these kind of tools about the data. And the main, he's explaining, like the main 3 steps, what we have is steward data, what is collect, maintain, and share it. The next step is created information, what is data, is in the form of product or service, and then decide what we do with that information. We have the data, we create this information, and then what we do with that information. This is the main big picture. This is the reason I would like you read this Open Data Institute material, because it's quite clear and nice. They say, like, mainly, we need to have impact over these 3 steps. And it's provided as a data ethic canvas, what is a tool for anyone who uses data to build AI application, and is helping us to manage, to find ethical issues before we start the project. Before you take tool or if you are building the tool, you take a database, they are helping to you to think about what ethical uses I need to check before I continue. I don't want to continue at the end of the day and say, I took the ground database. I cannot do this with this database. It's forbidden. Then it's nice because they are telling you what you need to think about that. And what I tell is asking you important questions and even to respond and to reflect about this response. And here only, in very vast, because it's quite long already, I made just as an example. For example, if we will have with all of you some lab, for example, I will give you a computer and I will give you some tasks. For example, imagine you are this is some of the projects we are carrying out, for example, in my lab, Community Health Monitor application. A no-profit organization, in our case, for example, is the university, is developing a mobile application that tracks health indicators, as, for example, heart rate, step, and sleep pattern, to improve wellness outcomes in unserved community. Vale. This app aims what? What we want to provide personalized health recommendation, identify public health threats, and inform local health interventions. If I use the canvas, this is, I want to have time for all of you to ask if you have some questions, but for example, it's 15 circles. You will see, you have this presentation, there are 15 circles, but also you can check it in the website. I like quite much how they divide it, and they say, for example, the first thing what you need to do when you have a project is the data sources. Name, describe your project, key data sources, wherever you are collecting data yourself or accusing via third parties. Is any personal data involved or data that is otherwise sensitive? And then you have to answer about your project. In my case, for example, what I say is, what is my key data sources? The app is collecting data from user devices, fitness tracker and smartphone, and also I am recording, because also we are using for detecting falling people. I am recording my grandmother. I am making my own database, for example. Then we have that in key data sources. But also we are using some kind of public available health data set from government's agency. Also, the collecting of the data, how is? Pues is directly from the user. Anybody is giving to us, just directly from the user, from the app. And we have sensitive data. Of course, we have sensitive data because we have personal information about the heart rate, we have user demographics, for example, the age, the gender, and we have the location data and community-specific trends. This is the first what you need to ask. The second, for example, they say, okay, you have to think before you start your project. I told you, you use a tool or you design the method, is right around data sources. Where did you get the data from? It is produced by organization or collected directly from individuals. Was the data collected for this project or for another purpose? Do you have permission to use this data or another basis in which you are allowed to use it? What ongoing rights will the data source have? And I do with my project. And then the same, we could make a lab with, I will give you different tasks, and you can see in your cases how you respond to this. For example, in my case, data origin. The data is collected directly from individuals using the app, and public data sets and sources from government's health database. Okay. The purpose, data collecting is specifically for this project to provide health recommendation and insight. Permission, see, user consents to data collection through clear agreement. Public data sets are used under open data licenses. Then everything is clear. Ongoing rights, I check it. Okay, user can view, download, or delete their own data at any time through my app. This is something what I have to do to my app. Public data set remain under the term of the respective license, what they say. Then we continue like this. We have like 15 Limitation on data source, for example. Other question what we need to do is, are there limitations that could influence your project outcomes? What we need to consider, bias in the data collection, inclusion or exclusion, analysis and algorithms, everything what we are doing is the ethical, what we saw before included in these questions. Provenance and data quality, other uses affecting decisions such as team composition. We do the same, okay, in my case, because what I want to give you is a sample of how I will do and how you have to do in your own projects. Potential basis, what I think, in my case, can be, yes, for example, but this I think before, and I wrote here, I can maybe some kind of people who don't have smartphones or wearable device, they cannot do it, or and their demographies, like I could not give, I could use this information in Europe, but maybe I cannot have the facility to go to Africa to do it. What gap of mission I have? Public health database might be outdated or even not enough information, how I really need to have, this is possible. When I start thinking this is possible, what can happen? Provenance and quality, the public data set varying quality and self-reporting data from user could be inaccurate, means like even some of them could cheating my devices, my wearable devices. Team composition, the team includes science, and, scientifics and public health experts, but could benefit from adding community represented to reduce biases in both gender and equally represented. For example, when I start thinking, I saw, okay, I need to add this to this. Limitation on data source. Are there limitations that could influence your project outcome? This is what I just did. Ethical and legislation context, also we need to be about the same question. What existing ethical codes apply to your sector project? What legislation, policies, or other regulation shape how you use data? What requirements do they introduce? And here they consider, for example, when you answer this question, the rule of law, human rights, data protection, IP, and database rights. I do the same. The project complies with the data protection law, such as General Data Protection Regulation, ensuring data privacy and user control. This is what they need to be. Should be also adhered to ethical framework for health research, such as informed consent and protection. The next one, ongoing implementation. This is, there are 15. I don't want to go follow, you will have, but we need to ask ourselves all these kind of things before we start our research, or we start to using some kind of tools, or use some kind of database. And here, ongoing implementation, for example, you have also our reason for using data. You have also to asking yourself, what is your primary purpose for collecting and using data in this project? What are your main use case? And everything have to be published. Everything, all this should be published. Positive effect, you have to think also about what positive effect on people can have your project, but also with negative effect in people can have your project. If we minimize a negative impact, does this mean? What steps can you take to minimize harm? How could you reduce any limitation in your data source? How are you keeping personal and other sensitive information secure? The same, we need to answer in your case, in everybody's case, what you're thinking about this question. Also, review and iteration. How will ongoing data ethics usually be measuring, monitoring, discussing, and actioning it? Engage with people. How can people engage with you about the project? How can people correct information, appeal, or request changes to the product? Openness and transparency. How open can you be about the project? Could you publish your methodology, metadata, dataset? This is the more important one, one of the more ones. Can you ask peers to feedback on the project? Communicating your purpose. Do people understand your purpose, especially people whom the data is about or who are impacted by its use? How have you been communicating your purpose? Has this communication been clear? This is also like we have to know if we are communicating what we want to do to the people we are using for our data set. Sharing data with others. Are you going to share this data? Are you planning to publish anything with the data? And your final action. What action you will take before moving forward with this project, which should take priority, who will be the responsible for these actions, and who must be involved. And like I finish as I started, I think what we need to do is interdisciplinary education in AI ethics, combining computer science, law, philosophy, and social science. The importance of developing ethical AI from the ground up, incorporating diverse perspectives. Our present and future students need to understanding what they are using, need to understanding what will be the consequences of what they are using. And like we know, in AI, the road is not done. We are doing the road. We are building the road, and we have to build together and knowing in some way, because it's difficult to know where we want to do, but sometimes it's easy to know where we don't want to go. Then this is the main, finally, what I would like to keep in your mind. Like, take care, because I am sure all of you will use artificial intelligence, but I hope I bring to you some kind of questions about these concerns. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pilar. Pilar is very right when saying that we need a interdisciplinary approach to these new challenges. The main problem you will have having a lawyer on this side of the table and an engineer on the other side is that perhaps we start a kind of dialogue that we will not follow even ourselves. It happened to me when I was listening to Pilar, that a few days ago I was trying to explain to some students why some legal scholars in the 19th century in Germany, they were discussing about causation in terms of damages and responsibility, which was something that Pilar mentioned. And they were talking about gunfire. So some people, some scholars said, well, if a result of using a gun, someone is killed, the responsible should be not only the person firing the gun, but also those that made the bullets, those that made the guns, because without the bullets or the guns, the line of causation ended in the murder of someone would never happen. So all new challenges for old, very old discussions, in my case from the legal side, but in Pilar's case from another side. And now it's time for you to see which is your side also. How do you see all these challenges that you perhaps already are being confronted in your research projects and activities? So we have some time for you to speak out, ask questions to Pilar. I have so many that, but I shouldn't be the person asking constantly. So the floor is all yours. So if anyone wants to ask the question, my colleague Ruth will give you the microphone. Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for your presentation. I don't actually have a question. It's just a personal reflection. And I think about this a lot, because I think that AI, to some extent, is a reflection of our actual society. And if our actual society is rooted into some kind of discrimination, inequality, gender, social, racial, whatever, I think these systems will be automatically fed with that data. Because, for example, when you show the pictures of the male scientists, if the people that publish more are white male scientists, if the people that are directing faculties are white male scientists, of course as individuals, we also need to advocate and work as citizens and be active into progress, into a more equal and fair society, so that these models can also reflect that.
Yeah. It's true, it's what I was telling, like it's not something about the government made regulation, it's something like cooperative. We need the government, the company, international, everybody, even the citizens should put, because everyone, we have a role in this. And like I was telling the example of the nuclear bomb, this is something in the hands of only very few who have the power and the complexity to understand, but this is in the hands of everybody. And then we split really fast. Then it's difficult, yeah.
Right next to her. So you talked about climate change and the energy needed for AI to work. Do you think it's possible without nuclear energy to provide enough energy for AI tools, or do we need to go back maybe to nuclear energy?
Okay, this is something also like worry about because I am also talking about, I don't know, I was telling before about, I have the lecture also about blockchain, and blockchain is also generated a lot of consuming and waste, because then only one is winning about that. And this is the same, like you are generated, the same way generated the models. We need to go through another kind of energy. We have to find the sustainability way to generate it. There are models in this website, what I gave you. You can see, for example, that some kind of models consume more energy than another one. It's the way they are programming. Then it's true, the model also should inform about the complexity of the calculation, and you can decide by yourself, I will use this. If the result, finally, you can use one. If the results, more or less, they are the same, but I know these have more sustainability, I will use this. This is the same. Sometimes it's like she is telling, it's depending on the citizen. For example, I don't know, I have a Finnish husband. What is crazy, I don't know if you know someone here is from Finland, but they're crazy about the ecological sustainability, and he made us to build a passive house here in Madrid. What actually is really difficult, because it's not prepared. It's like, we are not prepared for that. There are no companies who are doing this kind of thing. What costs to us? Costs a lot. I mean more than a normal house. But our mentality is, no, we want to do this because we believe on that. And this is what exactly happened with the AI. Like, there are some kind of different methods for generating AI, and then we should select ourselves, be able to select the ones who want have more stability.
Hi, Pilar. So first I wanted to say thank you for the first slide about climate change and how we're contributing by using models, computer models, to send more CO2 to atmosphere and all that. I wanted to add that there's another contribution called green algorithms that also takes care of that problem, which is amazing, and also that the Universidad de Alcalá actually requires the students in their final degree or final master projects to write explicitly a section about how their work contributes to climate change.
Oh.
And actually I encourage my students to use that tool so they can clearly say, I am emitting whatever tons of CO2 with my project, or so on and so forth. So maybe the Universidad de Alcalá maybe could also do the same at some point. And so my question about the talk was actually about that meeting AI use in our daily work. So in this context, we are writing articles, we are writing project proposals, we are maybe applying for grants, and I don't know if all of us are doing that, but my first step now is always asking ChatGPT for a draft of anything I write, and they build up on that. And actually this is like an indication that we were given in a course that was given in June in the inter-university courses that I think was given by the Complutense University last time, and it was about this, and the instructions were very clear about that we should use AI as a starting point and not as a final product itself. So my question is, how should we tackle that? Because I'm going to be completely honest, I do not admit AI use in any of the final documents I produce, because my view is that the contribution of AI has been like the very, very starting point, and then I have to look for more information, I have to transform the text, I have to add value to the proposition that AI is given at first. So do you think this is a good strategy? Because my main fear is that when an evaluator or someone who is going to read my work reads ChatGPT was used for this, this, and this, it will automatically raise bad concerns, and that the final product will be less, will have a lower score, or will be worse evaluated, or yeah. So what do you think about that? What should we do? Should we do what I am doing now, or maybe we should be completely open and honest about that, and education will be progressing towards not really taking into account if you use the tool or not, but the final product itself. So what do you think about that?
In some way, what I think is like, you are doing correctly in the way like we should use the tool for helping us, for example, like the first step to know how, or some kind of paragraph which you don't know how to say, to helping you to rewrite, maybe because your English is not good or because you have some source what you don't know and you want to find, but not like a full project. We should focus in more in helping in some kind of part. I need to know just this. I got to try to find information or where to find the information for that, but not to write me an article about that. No, I will say more. I write, I make my sections, and then if I have some doubts in some kind of them, and I actually do, I mean, I go there if I about some kind of writing form or some kind of documentation what I don't find, I try to find there. This is the way, like a tool, no like, I will say it's the best way nowadays to do that.
Hello everyone. I want to thank you for your excellent presentation. And if you let me, I want to add some extra point because the topic is quite related to my topic. My name is Daniel. I'm studying computer science at the University of Alcalá, specializing in natural language processing and large language models. Well, I believe that in the next 10 years, or maybe 15 years, at least 30 to 50% of job opportunities will be eliminated and even disappeared due to the advancement of AI. You say why and how, I will tell you. Are you a good doctor, a good general doctor? Okay, in the next 10 years, maybe you don't need any more general doctors because maybe some robots can play the role of doctors. And you know, when ChatGPT and the OpenAI company launched ChatGPT, first you could start chatting with ChatGPT, then they added the voice capability, which means that you can start talking to ChatGPT, even you can choose the gender of the person who you're talking to, okay? Even you can choose, let's say, the accent, like a girl, a boy, I don't know, in any language you want to speak, okay? And it might be interesting for you that they are trying to, I mean, the next step, they are trying to visualize the person whom you're talking to. So, which means that, okay, if you're good at, I mean, you're a good psychologist in the future, no more psychologists are needed because you can immediately create your own psychologist, okay, with the help of AI. They can watch you, they can see your facial changes, I mean, your body gestures. With some details that you give them, they can analyze
It's true. You are right. Like some professions will disappear because they are automatic ones. This is what I want. This is the problem of the education. Some of the automatic process, what the people are doing nowadays, can be done by the machines. Make from the machine your psychology. I will not take it. No, I will not take it in the sense like the first easy problems, maybe, yes. But like I told before, we need to have the control. We will create a new professions anyway for designing this artificial intelligence, because in the case, for example, creating your own psychology, you need also to put your background information. I mean, you have to build in the system yourself. Then we will create it, new profession. But we have to have in mind always, we are the last, or we have the last word, not the machine. We cannot say, I will not go like this, like profession like doctor or psychologist will disappear. I don't want to become to that point because we have the control. This is, please read the article what I saw you like from Bill from Sun Microsystem. Is really, he's telling about that. The moment we start letting the machines to control us, as much we let them to control us, and much less we can control, because they already have so much power, we can't control the information, then finally it's just like, we have to use the tools, have the tool with us, but no instead of us. This is danger what is ahead.
It is a pity, Pilar, that you didn't take the example of the disappearance of university professors, but that would be a better example than psychologists and even doctors. We have time for a last question that perhaps we'll hear. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm very pleased to see this particular presentation, because it is really interesting, and it also reflects on some very important questions for our whole society. So not only this country, but every country in the world. I would like also to make personal remarks, because I think that it is very important to raise awareness, to not trust artificial intelligence completely, and to always do fact checks. And when in my university, there is very wide use of ChatGPT and other AI tools. But I always tell the students when we have lab exercise or something like that, I always encourage them to use ChatGPT and to see if it is right or wrong. Most of the times, because we're doing very specific things, it is wrong. And I think that they are also now aware that they cannot trust it completely. I mean, it varies from the field of research, but that is very interesting. And also for the climate change, I think that it is very paradox. It's a big paradox, because we are starting to talk much more about carbon footprint and climate change because of artificial intelligence. But I think that it is not yet recognized the contribution of AI to global climate challenges, because, for example, big databases like EUGLOH or global databases about climate change and factors affecting it have not yet recognized AI as a major problem, as a source of pollution or climate change. So that is very interesting point of view.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's true.
Thank you very much, everyone. Now we will have a break. I really want to finish this session, and thank you very much, Pilar, again, for coming this morning to talk about this pretty relevant subject. But it's today very relevant, and I really want to conclude you to go back a little bit to put your eyes backwards and not to think too much in the future, which is very nice because you have more future than me at this very moment in front of you, academically speaking, I hope. But look back a little bit to the past, and there is an old saying about academic work, something that I try to remember, and Pilar, with her presentation, have put in front of my eyes. Again, we're talking about what is transformative. We're using different sources, what is originality, and all these legal implications in the use of ChatGPT and other applications. That old saying says that in university, what is not tradition is plagiarism. So, thank you very much, everyone, and we will go for a coffee break at this very moment.